What is going on, my friends? Hello and welcome back to the Crypt and another episode of I believe episode 111 of Lost in the Dark podcast. Here on a Monday night. It's Monday, motherfuckers. Monday, the 16th of December 2019. We only got 16th, so like 15 more days. We got 15 more days left of this year, of this decade. Of the decade. We are moving into the roaring fucking 20s, round 2. So, goddamn. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Like, it really fucking, I can't believe it's like we are fucking balls deep in the holiday season at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we are fucking, 9 days away from Christmas? Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is crazy. Wow. See, it went by fast, but it also went by slow. I don't know, in a weird way. Like, parts went by fast. Did a lot. This was a crazy fucking year. Our last 2 years I've been to more shows in the last 2 years than any other 2 years in my, like, each year standalone, I think I went to the same amount. I think I went to like 21, 22 shows both years, and both years standalone as like tied for most shows I've ever been to in a year. So that's been insane. Been doing podcasts like crazy. And, you know, it occurred to me it had been a while since I had done a solo. Like a good long while. Let's get this fucking party started. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So, yeah, it'd been a while, I realized, since I had done a fucking solo episode. Just sat down in the crypt and talked. A long while. I don't even remember the last one, to be honest. But it's been crazy. You know what I mean? Like, moving was crazy. Ended up moving itself was easy. It was moving my dragon. Anybody that doesn't know, I did an episode on it once a long time ago. But I have a reptile. It is a Philippine sailfin dragon, Hydrosaurus pustulatus, is like the scientific name or whatever. And it is a living dinosaur. Like, it is it's the most magnificent, like, my favorite animal, pretty much. Like, it is one of the most magnificent looking animals, especially the male pustulatuses, because there's Hydrosaurus webri, Hydrosaurus integrade. There's a couple different Hydrosauruses, but the pustulatus is the one. And they are just stunning animals and relatively easy to care for, but require very large enclosures. And I actually decided to build her a new enclosure here in my new location, and that ended up taking a lot longer than I had anticipated. So October was crazy for that. And then November's just been getting settled, getting into new rhythms, getting shit moving, you know what I mean? That's why we've kind of unofficially in the past few weeks gone down to 1 episode a week, but I'd like to get that back up to 2 again, because I start to feel it. I honestly, once a week goes by, I honestly start to, like, I need to get back on the microphone. Like, I feel it, you know what I mean? Like, want to keep doing this, keep getting better, keep growing it, putting out more content, doing more for people to see, hopefully, if people are enjoying it. This week we got I know I'm going to do at least 2 album reviews, hopefully all of them posted. I'm hopefully going to knock them all out like tomorrow or something, and then get them posted. That'd be awesome. Get some of those out. Yeah, just more stuff, definitely. But let's get into it. Motherfucker. I got some things written down. Just some news, just some general fucking news. I thought I could talk about it a little bit. Let's see here. I don't think I've talked about the Mandalorian on this podcast yet. I have been watching the Mandalorian, and I absolutely fucking love it. Like, a lot of people were like, it's honestly surprised me how popular it got right off the rip. Because in the beginning, I was kind of a lot more on the fence. But, yeah, the more it got in, the more here's why I like it. And for anyone that hasn't seen it, spoilers. Like, I don't know how much I'll spoil, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just going to tell my honest feelings about it. If I spoil some of it, I'm sorry. But the reason why I like The Mandalorian is because two reasons. One, I guess, yeah, the main reason is how small it is. Like how it is taking place on this gigantic stage that is Star Wars, in the Star Wars galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, and all that. But, you know, a Jedi could literally be around any corner, or a Sith, or whatever. But it's also like a very small story. Like, it's really just this one guy and this baby Yoda going around. And there's like, in each episode you could say is standalone. But I have a feeling a lot of what we perceive now to be standalone will end up getting tied in later. And the other thing I like about it is how, like, just how small it feels. Small. It doesn't feel giant, and I really, really like that. And another thing I like about it is that they're kind of doing the thing I liked so much about, like, Doctor Who, where, yeah, you have a bunch of these individual episodes, but in each episode, maybe there's just one little scene, one little half a second thing that would refer to this long, overarching story throughout the whole season that would conclude in the season finale. I love that style of storytelling, especially in, you know, a TV episodic format. That's probably my favorite. And they're doing that. They're doing that. I do wish that in each episode they would give us a little bit more, like even something at all, because sometimes there's nothing about the overarching mystery of what's going on with this baby Yoda. But I do, like I said, that can all be fixed by tying it all together in the end. And I think something like that is going to go down. I think it'll be fantastic. I've really been enjoying it. Now, something interesting though, because I keep saying I like the smallness of it. How while yes, it is taking place on this vast arena of Star Wars, it's this really small story. Yeah, sometimes we're flying around, but usually we're just in one place at one point in time doing one thing. You know, we got to take this guy out. We got to go here and do this job. We got to do, you know what I mean? It's real simple. Like, feels a little bit more like, obviously they're in space, but down to earth than anything else. Oh, that threw me off. Sorry, I thought I just heard something. Sorry. Yeah, I just like the smallness. Now, I like to comment on what a few weeks back made some news. You know what? Let me pull it up. Let me see. I don't want to misquote. About what Martin Scorsese said about the Marvel movies. Hold on. Let me see here. He said they're not cinema, but that was like the big headline. All right. Well, obviously. And in my opinion, when you read the rest of what he said, that's slightly taken out of context. They really grabbed the headline quote, you know what I mean, and just ran with it. But fuck, I can't. Sorry, I didn't have this already pulled up. It's not because I don't think there's. Here we go. I don't think there's cinema. He wrote in an op-ed. I was asked a question about Marvel movies. I answered it. I said that I've tried to watch a few of them. They're just not for me. They seem to me to be closer to theme parks than they are movies, as I've known and loved. Than movies, as I've known and loved them throughout my life. Now, that was his first thing, but then he responded to it. Fuck. Now I can't find it. All right. He said he came back though and explained what exactly what he meant. Okay. You can find this. I swear to God, I'm not just making this up. And this is not a direct quote. but this is pretty close. He was just saying, like he said, the movies as I've known and loved them throughout my life. Because, and what he's referring to, what he said, what I believe he said he was referring to there, are like him, people like Kevin Smith, people that want to tell a small story on a, their story or some form, whatever, a very low budget sort of indie film, and then have it catch and get huge. So he's saying that's what movies, things like that are what movies, things like that he does, and Quentin Tarantino, things like that. Look. And that these movies, these Marvel movies, are much more grandiose. They feel more like a theme park than sitting there watching a movie. You feel like more like you're on a ride, right? And I don't think, as of us Marvel fans, I don't think we would disagree with that. It is a fucking ride. So he's not saying, okay, first of all, he didn't even say they're bad. He just said that I've tried to watch a few, they're not for me. Guess what? They're not for everybody. You know what I mean? I completely understand people that don't like them. There are tons of people that I really, really respect that just do not like, they just don't do anything for them because they didn't grow up with the source material. You know what I mean? They weren't into that when they were a kid as much or whatever. Stuff like that. There's a million reasons, whatever. And I've said this before on the pod. See, ultimately, I think I've actually said exactly the same sentiment that Martin Scorsese is expressing, just I didn't say it in that way. They are definitely cinema. And to me, they are the epitome of what cinema can be in today's world. A lot of people don't remember or I don't know, it doesn't get talked about much anymore, but back in like 2006, 7, 8, 9, back when like the Batman Dark Knight trilogy was coming out, first Iron Man movie, Avatar, things like that, okay? Yeah, those were some big movies, absolutely. But guess what? Every night on the news, I was watching news reports of theaters around the country closing down. Nobody's going to the movies anymore. Ticket prices, blah, blah, blah. Like all this. Nobody was going to the movies during those years. Literally, movie theaters across the country were shutting down. I still drive by skeletons of old theaters. A lot of them have been repurposed. Some of them turned back into theaters right here, at least in mid-Michigan. Like the places that I see around my town. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Because the movies came back. And in my opinion, it was because for a long, long time, and right during that time and right before it started is when I was in high school. And in high school, that was our thing. Because movies, we could go for $5-6, but everybody went to the movies. Everybody went to the fucking movies every weekend. My buddy Jordan and I, who's been on the podcast many times, we would print off movie times for the day we were all wanted to go. We'd bring it to school with us because we didn't have phones, and all pick a time to go to the theater and meet up here and blah blah this and that. That's what we would do because we didn't have a lot of live music and shit like that. So movies was our thing, and we saw fucking everything, So I remember, though, thinking, like, at a certain point in time, like, I remember getting to this realization of, these Marvel movies are different than everything else. This is a real show. It got to the point where ticket prices started to go up, and it just, I don't know. I feel like people, and it was also, like, Netflix was just coming into existence. Streaming was just coming into existence. Lots of factors, okay? Lots of factors. But to me, with all those factors combining, what saved the cinema was the Marvel movies. Because it gave us something we could not find anywhere else. Those Marvel movies were for the people that love them, are on such another level. and they're so fucking well executed that it was something. They brought something to the theaters that people were willing to pay to see in a theater, that they did want to see for the first time at home. They wanted to see this for the first time in a theater. And I mean, I remember going to movies opening night. There weren't no fucking lines for anything. Okay? Nowadays, it's fucking a madhouse for anything big coming out, right? We got Star Wars coming out this week. It's going to be chaos. Fucking chaos. So I agree with the sentiment of what... Now, here's the other part of it. Is that like I said, I miss... Like, I love those smaller scale... I love a small movie about guys that work in a convenience store, or a guy that just goes on a hunting trip with his dad and brother, and he's never gotten a deer in his entire life. Shout out to Escanaba Into Moonlight. If you've never seen it, watch that shit. Seek it out, especially if you're from Michigan. You know, what else? You know, I can't think of anything right now, but you know what I mean? Just like Kevin Smith's movies, you know, stuff like that. Like real Jeepers Creepers is a small movie, the first one. Like most of that movie takes place in a car. Most of it's dialogue driven. That's what I'm talking about. A small scale, doesn't take place in very many, maybe just in one location. Dialogue driven. I fucking love that shit. I absolutely love that shit. And Scorsese's not wrong. Due to the environment, what people are expecting to pay for and get when they go to the movies now, a show like a Marvel, it's a lot harder for someone making a small movie, dialogue driven with not a lot of giantness, to be seen. There's no question. And I agree with him there. And that's, I think, the main thing he was saying, is that he doesn't like this environment. But I agree, but I'll also say this environment is what saved the movies. And now there are more platforms than ever for an indie artist to get their things seen. It doesn't have to be in a theater. And me personally, I like going to Star Wars and Marvel and Godzilla, the big ones, in the theater. But if it's something, if a horror movie or a fucking, you know, something, just a smaller drama, just a drama, a comedy, yeah, comedy, maybe it would really have to be the right one. That would be rare. But maybe a comedy. But 9 times out of 10, no. All those other genres, I want to see sitting in my house alone, being able to absorb it all just by myself. You know what I mean? That's how I like to consume that medium. In those other genres, where, you know, whereas with the bigger movies, I want to see them on the biggest fucking screens possible every fucking time. So that's what I think. That's what I got out of what Scorsese was saying. And I think that it was a real grabby headline for him to say, he says they're not cinema. No. They're not the cinema he grew up with. It's not what he came to know as cinema. This is something new. This is something different. And he's right. And it gets asses in the seats because it's beautiful and well done and executed. Not for everybody, not for people like him. But it is. And to people like me. And, you know, so, yeah. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to come because I read, at first I was like, oh, God, Scorsese's blah, blah, blah. You know, I felt the same way most Marvel fans when they read that grabby-ass headline. But then I read his, like, kind of response and everything like that, and I was like, oh, no, I actually kind of agree with what he's saying. Like, it is relatively impossible to get people to go see a no-name director with a bunch of no-name actors in a small movie, heavily dialogue-driven, that doesn't have big names or action scenes. Imagine someone going to see that in a theater nowadays. Exactly. It wouldn't fucking happen. So I get it, because it did used to happen. That used to be a bulk of what was in the theaters, sometimes. So, yeah, no, I get it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I just kind of I read that and I was like, you know what? I kind of agree with him in some sense, because I miss those smaller scale movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just more grounded. It feels like you could be right there in the car with them or standing next to them in the convenience store or whatever. Like, talking to them. Something that's unbelievably relatable. It's a little hard to relate to Tony Stark from time to time. So, or Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that for a minute, because I don't think I talked about that on here yet at all. But anyway, moving on. We got some fucking metal news to talk about. 2 big tour announcements. Hold on, let me see here. 2 big tour announcements. We got the 2020 Devastation on the Nation tour. Everyone coming. Let's see here. Oh shit, I don't have... Damn it, this one doesn't have a list of dates. All right, well anyway, it's Devastation on the Nation tour. Featuring... come on. Oh my god. Why don't you fucking just list things in a more reasonable way? Oh my god. Hold on one second. Jesus Christ. There we go. Very sorry about that. Okay, so it'll be Devastation on the Nation tour. It'll be Sunday, March 29th at the Sanctuary in Detroit. That's the Michigan date, featuring Imperial Triumphant, Abigail Williams, Wolfheart Borknagar, and the headliner, Rotting Christ. Now, Rotting Christ's new album, The Heretics, is fucking outstanding. If you have not heard it yet, and you like some fucking, I don't know, black and death metal, black metal, I don't know, somewhere in there, it's amazing. It's fucking really, really good, actually. So, definitely am hoping to make it down to that show. That's a big tour announcement that just came about. First, honestly, that's the first big tour announcement for the United States, at least for 2020. Lots of big tour announcements for Europe for 2020 so far. We got like that Parkway Drive, Hatebreed, and Fit for an Autopsy, Dieters Martyrs doing something. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like half the bands I would hope that if it comes back as a touring festival in 2020, half the bands I would hope would be on Mayhem Fest are touring Europe at least for the spring. A lot of it's spring tour. Slipknot, I think Slipknot's going over there in the spring. I think Guns N' Roses just announced something. Everybody's hating Europe in the spring. It's fucking crazy. Really is. But anyway, Devastation of the Nation is coming right here to Detroit, and with Abigail Williams, their fucking new cover album, they got a new album out too, and their new album cover is amazing. I forget that guy's name that does a bunch of them. I have to look that up and talk about him in one of these episodes. He's outstanding. Shout out to that artist. But yeah, so that's one big tour announcement. And then the other big tour announcement is the Meta X Tour 2020 featuring Scold, Browning, Three Teeth with the headliner Carnifex. Now, this one's coming to the machine. Ooh, shit. This one's coming to the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan on March 28th. So isn't that the next? Son of a bitch. Sunday the 29th, Saturday the 28th. These are back-to-back. Motherfucker. How am I going to pull that off? Damn. All right. Anyway, sorry, I just realized that. Now, I mentioned this one because Carnifex, like their new album, World War X. Now, I'm not saying that it's like the best thing they've ever done, because full disclosure, it's the first and to date only album that I've heard by them top to bottom. But of all the fucking albums that I have that have come out this year that I have heard, top to bottom. Man, I tell you what, that one is one of the ones I went back to more than any other and continue to go back to. It is on the regular playlist now. Like, you know what I mean? It's in the regular rotation. There are songs on that album that absolutely blow me away. There's some lyrics, probably one of my top 2 or 3 favorite lyrics written that I've heard this year on that album. Definitely. So that's in March. I really would like to see Carnifex because that new album is just absolutely outstanding. Really would. So hopefully, but as we get closer with that, you know, this is the end of March we're talking about right now. There's nothing between now and then except for 2 things. Both of them are our dear friends Recorruptor. Shout out to all of them. They've all been on the podcast. An extra huge shout out to Clint for doing his album of the year, top 100 albums of the year list on the podcast last week. Like, that was another fucking level for sure. So shout out to them. But their first show of the year is coming up on January 11th at Max Bar in Lansing, Michigan. $10 in advance, 13 days of show. And it's Oigs Fest, O-I-G-S Fest, for Return of the Oigs. Look this up at Max Bar, M-A-C'(S) Bar, Facebook, Oigs Fest for Facebook, all of it. Recorruptor Facebook, it's all on there. This show is a big one. It features Hordes, Grave Moth, Teething, Iron Mountain. They're great. Pan, Burial Party, Hawkeye, Throne is outstanding. Locust Point from Blue to Gray, Wormfoot, Recorruptor, and the Rock and Roll Bad Guys looks like are the headliners. So that's gonna be outstanding. I don't know what time. Oh, doors are at 3 p.m. So this is just a big one, but I definitely want to be there in time for Iron Mountain for sure. Iron Mountain and Throne, they're fucking sick. And from Blue to Gray and Recorruptor, all of this happening at Max Bar. Max Bar, people, is very, very, very small. So if you're a fan of any of these bands and you can make this show, you would literally be able to pretty much hang out with them. Yeah. So come to the show. It's gonna be outstanding. The show, the next one, that was January 11th. 6 days later, January 17th, back in Detroit, back at the Sanctuary. $10 in advance. Doors at 7 p.m. My Own Will, Dead Nerves, Discontent, Recorruptor, opening for Greenleaves, the Bad Place EP release tour. Greenleaves' Bad Place EP release tour. Holy shit. Greenleaves are fucking outstanding. So that's going to be a banger for sure. January 11th, they're in Max Bar in Lansing. January 17th, they're at the Sanctuary in Detroit. Those will be my first 2 shows of the year for sure. So be sure to get out to those. Absolutely be sure to get out to those. Outstanding. So that's pretty much the show tour sort of news I got right now. You know, and like I said, Clint was on last week, right? And I feel bad. I want to be honest right now, like brutally honest. I feel really bad because put it this way, that album of the year, his top 100 album of the year list ended up getting broken into 4 episodes, I believe. Yeah. 2 of the episodes, the first 2, so 100 to 50, solid as a rock. 50 to 1, I am disappointed in myself, put it that way. Clint and Aaron saved those episodes pretty much, in my opinion. I went back and listened to some of them. They were beyond outstanding. I was a little bit of a statue. Full disclosure, though. Like, I do want to I'm not making excuses, because that's bullshit. But I do want to give a little context. Because at that point, it was probably around midnight, 1 a.m. once we got to, like, around number 50 or so. We had been going since, like, 6-ish. We had no idea how long, we didn't know that it was going to take as long as it did. We didn't know how long that was going to be. I was assuming, like, 3-4 hours tops, Nope. 8. Yeah, I had no idea. So none of us did. None of us did. We had no idea. So here's the thing. And we didn't finish probably till 2, 3 a.m. And I had to be to work at like 8 or 9 the next day. And I was already on only about 8 hours of sleep of the last 48 hours. Because it had been a crazy weekend. It was, yeah. Now, all of that is entirely on me. Making assumptions about how long it would be, not getting enough rest, all of these things are entirely on me. And I just felt bad that at the end, it's not that I didn't, when I went back and listened to it, I was like, why the fuck didn't I say this? Why the fuck didn't I say, oh my God. It's in the moment, I literally wasn't thinking, almost like my brain was shutting off. Like I was just so drawn in and focused on everything Aaron and Clint were saying, because I was like so tired that I was just in and out. But like I should have just, man, I really should have just like slapped myself in the face a few times, so some cold water and just hammered it, gone. You know what I mean? Like, and I regret not doing that. I really do. But ultimately, I think all the episodes turned out absolutely amazing. If you haven't heard them, I highly recommend it. Clint is a really, really good writer. He's very articulate, and the way he expresses his feelings about the albums it blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. I was like, you're better at this than like any reviewer that I read in anything, like any Metal Injection, Blabbermouth, fucking Loud Wire, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like any of the metal news sites. He is fan-fucking-tastic. He does post it all to his Facebook, Clint A. Franklin, lead singer of Recorruptor. So if you want to read it, you can go there, and that's awesome. But if you want to actually hear him talk about it and hear Aaron and I go back and forth with him about some things, then you can check out the episodes. And they are all really, really good. It's just the other two, I feel bad that I didn't participate as much as I feel as though I should have. I was disappointed in myself, that's for sure. And I hope, and I do apologize to both Clint and Aaron for that if they're hearing this. And I absolutely promise to everyone that nothing like that will happen again, no matter what. No matter what. So buckle up. Anyway, I just want to talk about that because I listened back and I was like, man, I felt like I dropped the ball. And I want to apologize. Here we are, 100-something episodes in, and we're still learning. We're still figuring it out. That was the first time anyone, like, honestly, a lot of that was firsts for all of us. So none of us knew a lot of that going in. There was also equipment concerns we had. There was a lot of things going on. So, yeah, I just wasn't as focused as I should have been. I should have been more in the moment and not giving a fuck about how much about how tired I was. So, yeah, I just wanted to fucking address that. Not that I've heard any feedback about it or anything like that, but I felt it, and I needed to be upfront about it and honest about it. So when I listened to it, so that's how I felt. But do not let that deter you, because, like I said, Aaron and Clint saved it, and they knocked it out the fucking. They were professionals. Like, it was insane. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating conversation. So definitely check out those episodes. They're the last 4 episodes. And honestly, there wasn't even supposed to be an episode out this week. I don't know. Got a little froggy, I guess. So I leaped and decided to do a little solo episode right here. But this will be the... Nope. There will be one more episode before Christmas. One more episode before Christmas. This coming up weekend, Aaron and I are going to record the Lost in the Dark Filthy 15 of 2019. Our top 15... Our album of the year, this. Our top 15... albums of the year. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. We might do it a little different this year than last year. But we shall see. We shall see about that. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, that will be coming very early next week. Probably about the same time this one drops this week. Which hopefully will be tomorrow, Tuesday. And that'll be it. That'll be it for Christmas, and then that'll probably be it for like a week and a half, and then we're gonna get together and do our album of the decade list right before the new year, and then that's it. That's it, and that's that, motherfuckers. We dive headfirst into the next decade, 2020. Insane. It's insane to me. 2020? Like, that's not even... I was born in 1989. I was born in the 80s. And it's 2020? Doesn't make sense to me. So fucking crazy. I like the holidays, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm not one of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That gets annoyed by it or any shit like that. Like, fuck that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I like the holidays. I like what I do for the holidays. I like being around the people I get to be around. I don't get to be around them as much as I like to. You know what I mean? Family. And, yeah, you know. It's fun. It's, you know, but it's weird. Like, there was a long time where it's just like I lost, you know. You hit that age and you just lose it. You're like, fuck it. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck all the holidays. Boring. Whatever. Yeah, I was there too. And then I remember one year, like, being in the holidays and being like, why do I feel that way? Is this just, like, what is that? Where's that? Why am I not, like, enjoying this at all? Why am I annoyed by this? What's really going on? And so I started to, like, really look at it, and I was like, you know, it kind of just feels like something that just happened, and that's just it. Like, it was like maybe a small... I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. But then I was just like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, why not enjoy it? Because there are things I like about it. There always have been and there always will be. Like, those things, like, you know, little things, you know what I mean? Christmas cookies and fucking Christmas lights and fucking Halloween time and fucking turkey on Thanksgiving and the fucking Lions losing and the fucking, you know, all these things that we've all our personal little traditions and all these things that we've all done, you know, that we maybe sometimes take for granted and things like that. I don't know. But it just got to a point for me personally where it was like, fuck it. Why am I... it's not even resisting, but, like, why am I letting... I realized, I don't know. Why am I caught up? Why am I not enjoying this? Why not enjoy this? There's a lot about it that I already like. Why am I inventing things to not like about it? You know what I mean? So just fuck it. And just ever since then, I've just been super into it all. You know, I just like the holiday from Halloween to fucking New Year's. I like it all. You know what I mean? It just really is kind of I don't necessarily always do the things I want to do. I don't necessarily always, this or that. It doesn't always turn out the way, this or that, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just about enjoying the experience and the time of year and the fucking, why not? Why not? I've done the whole I'm not enjoying it thing, and I've done the whole enjoy it no matter what thing, and the enjoy it no matter what thing is a lot more fun. It's more fun. So fuck it. It's more fun at the end of the day. And that's what it's what it came down to for me personally. I don't know. I just got to an age, I think everybody gets to the age at some point where they get really disenchanted with all things holiday. And I definitely did too. Deep. But I don't know. I was like, fuck it. I want to have fun. Everybody else having fun. Why not? Why would I sit here and be all, fuck that. I'd rather have fun. And so obviously, yeah, I just love the holidays. I love giving people presents. I love going present shopping for people. That's my favorite thing. I love Christmas cookies. I like getting drunk with my family. It's fun. I really enjoy it. I can't believe it's here, though. I can't believe this is the last one of this decade. I didn't plan this far ahead. When I was a kid, everyone like around 18, from 18, stuff like that, 21, even up to 25, you got like whether you're completing it or not, at some point you formulated a plan from now to 30. And whether you're on that, anywhere near that track or not, it doesn't really go past that, does it? At least it didn't for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm not, though. Maybe there's a lot of other people that are like that. Because my thing never really went past 30, and I'm at 30, and it's 2020. And not only am I not on any track that I thought I would be, I don't know where the tracks are going. So this is extra. This is dead zone. This is wild, wild west now. This is do or die. You know what I'm saying? So crazy to me. Fucking crazy. Man, oh man. All right, let's see what else I got here. AC/DC news. Dee Snider, who is not a bullshitter. Okay, Dee Snider, lead singer of Twisted Sister, and brilliant solo artist, released a new album last year. Was my album of the year, Death to All, but no, sorry. For the Love of Metal. Steel Panther, Jesus Christ. You listen to both those albums if you haven't heard the other one. Death to All Metal by Steel Panther, and which came out many years ago. But the one I was referring to was For the Love of Metal by Dee Snider, produced by Jamie Josta, lead singer of Hatebreed. Last year came out. Fantastic album. Really, really, really good. I don't know where he got this information. I can't find the article again, but apparently he's saying that AC/DC is returning next year with a new album with lead singer Brian Johnson back at the helm. With music, and this is the crazy part, written by Malcolm Young, the late, great Malcolm Young. So, yeah, you know what I mean? If there's a bunch of music left that hasn't been recorded that he wrote, now's the time to do it, with them. So, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, is what I say to that. Fuckity, fuck yes. And then, I'd love to see them on tour again. And then, I don't know, I guess the last thing here I got to talk about is this Ghostbusters trailer. Like, holy shit. You know what? Actually, since I did do a reaction to it, but full disclosure, I didn't. Like, I sent it. Okay. Just so anybody, all of our videos, all of our logos, all of these things, that's all Preston. All I do is sit down at the microphone and talk. And then I do have enough knowledge to record the episode myself and be able to post an audio episode myself to YouTube. I can do that. Anything else, I send to Preston. So this I can do entirely and get it to YouTube myself, for example. But any review I do, any reaction I do, anything on video, anything more than this, I send to Preston. All the logos are made by Preston. Even though he may not be on, maybe he hasn't been on an episode in a while, his presence is everywhere. He does a lot. A lot more than I can do, that's for goddamn sure. So I did send him my reaction to that Ghostbusters trailer for him to post, but I think he forgot about it, which I'm fine with, kind of. Because I don't know. I didn't really care for that tape as much as I was hoping to. But who knows? Maybe he'll post it, maybe not. But whether he does or not, I'm going to sit here and watch it and talk about it right now. Because as a closer. And then, because there's a lot to it. And I kind of want to break it down, especially in more than just, a quick trailer reaction. You know what I'm saying? Because those are like, they really need to be less than like 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the time. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me get these levels right. Hold on 1 second. Get it right so I can listen to it through the headphones here. And let me just make sure that it's not coming through the microphone. Okay. We don't want to get pulled off of fucking YouTube. Hold on 1 second. This is not the right one. There's a specific trailer that I liked more than the others. There was one that had an intro. It was the first one I saw because, okay, before I did the fucking reaction, I saw it once. When I woke up in the morning, I saw that it had been posted. So I watched it one time, and there was one. And the first one I saw had an intro that was like, here it is, 3, 2, 1, and it starts with like the sound of the fucking proton pack being like turned on, which is here. I'll show it to you right now. Hold on 1 second. This is literally, I'm pulling it up on my phone, closing that out, going to settings, going to notifications. Oh wait, no, back. Go to sounds and haptics. There we go. Text tone. So the sound that my phone makes when I get a text message. Here, I'm going to make sure the volume's on. Listen to this. That is the sound of a proton pack being fired up. That is literally my text sound. Like, that is... So when I heard that in a countdown to 3, 2, 1 to this trailer, and it was that sound, I was like, all right. We're in business. So it opens with a bunch of teenagers in El Camino, so that is awesome. And they're rolling up to... We got the kid from Stranger Things. It looks like they're in the Grand Canyon almost, but they roll up to like this old oil rig. They're sitting above it. They're broke. They're living there. They come to this town to get this old farmhouse that their grandpa left them. That's why they're there. And then the fucking thing shakes and a big old green shit comes out, like a blast. And then we hear Paul Rudd saying that there's no explainable reason, but for some reason the town keeps shaking. And then it shows a guy in a key store, #keymaster. There's a fucking scene in their house where the books are stacked just like they were in the library in the first Ghostbusters. During like the scene where everything's shaking. Then the daughter fucking unlocks this thing in the fucking floor and finds a ghost trap. Paul Rudd's like, cool replica. Replica of what? Ghost trap? and then the music. Jason Reitman, who is the son of Ivan Reitman, the original director of the first two. Hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years, but there's in this shot, when he says that, in the top kind of sort of right corner, there does appear to be what looks like a Slimer-esque looking ghost up there. New York in the 80s, it was like The Walking Dead, and they're looking at footage of the original Ghostbusters movie. Incredible. Hasn't your mom ever told you about this, or your dad ever told you about this? It's just my mom. She's walking around with a PKE meter, goes down a fucking fire extinguisher pole. My grandfather died. There's a collection of spores, mords, and funguses. There's a proton pack. Wait a minute. He's holding the ghost trap. There's something in it. Who are you? And then she grabs the fucking suit. Spangler, which means Egon. These are Egon's grandchildren. In 2020. And then they're in Shandor's mines. Shandor, the Book of Shandor, if you remember from the originals. And this is where we start to hear the Bill Murray from the first movie, Call It Fate. Call it luck. As they're discovering the Ecto. Call it karma. I believe the thing happens for a reason. And something blows by, appears to be a ghost, and then boom! A foot lands on a car hood, and it is a Gozer dog. For sure. For sure. Come on, darling. He starts it up. The Ecto-1. Driving it through a field. It's got a gunner seat. And they got the proton pack. It's fucking blasting. It's chasing Slimer. You see Slimer right there. And it comes to a fucking stop. Ghostbusters. Afterlife. Oh my God. It looks fantastic. And I love how they didn't fucking blow the full load on the fucking first trailer. I absolutely love it. Like at first I was like, man, why didn't they even use the song? They actually did. It's just in a piano. It's the piano version of the song playing throughout most of the trailer. Fucking awesome trailer. Awesome trailer. Everybody's back. The only one we're not sure about yet is Rick Moranis. But Sigourney Weaver, Amy Potts, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. Directed by Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, the original director of the first two. Absolutely. This is... So, okay. Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis both said, okay, you got Ghostbusters 1 and 2. The closest thing you'll ever get to a real Ghostbusters 3 is the Ghostbusters video game. If you're a hardcore Ghostbusters fan and you've never played the Ghostbusters video game, go play that shit right the fuck now. It just got remastered for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It literally is playing the next movie. Like, that's all the original Harold Ramis, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, and Amy Potts were all voices in that game. Okay? Literally. They were voice actors for that game specifically. So, I highly recommend it. They said that's as close as we'll ever really get. This, though, is the next step in the saga. And you know what? For the record, Ghostbusters, I want to be disclaimer. Ghostbusters to me is in my top 3 favorite films ever made. I think it's a perfect movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I grew up with it. It's amazing. I did not understand the hate that other Ghostbusters movie got with fucking Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. Like, Leslie Jones. I did not understand the hate it got. Like, it was not great, but it definitely wasn't terrible. Like, it definitely was not that bad. I laughed a bunch of times. They referenced there's a Lansing fucking Michigan joke in a Ghostbusters movie. They directly referenced Lansing, Michigan in a Ghostbusters movie. It blew me away. There's a bunch of references in that movie that I loved. Like, yeah, I watched that on TV when I was in Scotland over the summer. There was nothing else on, and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch this. I haven't seen it yet. Everybody hated it, but fuck it. I love Melissa McCarthy. I love Kristen Wiig. I love Leslie Jones. I love Kate McKinnon. So fuck it. I'll give it a shot. And I ended up being like, I don't get why everybody hates this fucking movie. Like, this is not that bad. Don't compare it to the original, which is why everybody hated it, which is what everybody was doing. But if you just let it stand on its own, it's not bad at all. Like, I mean, I was amused. I had a good time watching that movie. It's not great, but I had a good time watching that movie without question. So I don't fucking care. But this one is the next chapter. This one is genuinely, this is the kids, and we're going to get interaction from all the originals. Shandor, like, Gozer Dog's there, Slimer's there. It's going to be insane. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm really, really mad that Godzilla vs. Kong got pushed back to November. That was supposed to be out in March. I think when does this come out? Let's look that up real quick. I think it's like June or something. Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's what it's called. July 10th, 2020. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that movie. Like, that was a fantastic trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing more trailers too. Really looking forward to it. All right. Well, that's the last drink. So I will wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this the solo episode. It was probably the last solo episode of the year of the decade. So this is it. This is going to be the last one probably. So I hope you all enjoyed. And I hope to see some of you. Please, please. I hope to see some of you at some of these shows coming up. Please come to the Recorruptor shows. They got a lot of shit in the works. Maybe some new music, maybe some new videos. We'll see. Keep an eye out. Be sure to follow them on YouTube, Spotify, Bandcamp, iTunes, Facebook, Instagram. Be sure, and then also, for anyone who's paying attention, Balgraith released a little fucking teaser a little teaser of something that they've got in the works. Go to their social media to check out that teaser. Facebook, Instagram, but you can also follow them on YouTube, iTunes, Bandcamp, Twitch. They have a Twitch and a Patreon. So they got a whole lot, and they got some things in the works. Be sure to keep an eye out. So be sure to follow both those fantastic local bands and any other local bands I mentioned on the show tonight, or any local bands that fucking Clint mentioned on the top 100 list. Be sure to follow all of them. Remember that the next big band could be in your town as a local band right now. They could be the next thing. So support the local music scene. Support local fucking artists, because it all starts with you and it all starts with them. So yeah, definitely support them. But be sure also, if you feel like it, if you're this far into the episode and you feel like it, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Leave a rating, a review on iTunes if you feel so inclined. I would really appreciate it. Apparently helps. I don't know how these things work. But full disclosure, 100 episodes in, still don't know. But yeah. That's going to be, if you follow us, thank you so much. Thank you. If you're hearing this, thank you so, I cannot, from the bottom of my heart, for anyone to sit down this long and listen to me talk just absolutely boggles my mind. So I really hope if you did, you enjoyed this. And we're going to end the year strong with some reviews and our album of the year list, our album of the decade list, and then we're going to pick up the next decade, 2020. I'm relentless, reckless, forever. Children of Bodom. Shout out. Holy shit. Real quick before I go, shout out to Children of Bodom, who just played their last show ever in Helsinki, I think yesterday. One of my all-time favorite bands ever in history. I've met them twice. Oh my God. It absolutely breaks my heart that they are no longer a band. But hey, we are the Hate Crew, and we stand and we won't fall. Shout out to Children of Bodom. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. This has been Lost in the Dark podcast from the Crypt. Raise your horns, bang your heads. We are the Hate Crow! We stand and we won't fall, everybody, motherfuckers. God damn it, I love you all so much. I love you to fucking death. Good night! What's going on, everyone? So this is kind of an outro after the outro a little bit. I know I just closed the episode. But full disclosure, I did not end up getting this posted. I recorded it on Monday. I did not get it posted on Tuesday, but enough crazy shit happened on Tuesday. I felt like, I'm not going to record a whole new episode for it, but maybe I'll add an outro to the current episode. So the crazy shit that happened today, an unbelievable amount. Like, I started this episode talking about tours that were coming, the Carnifex and the Rotting Christ specifically, as well as the 2 Recorruptor shows coming up. Then today, holy fucking shit, did a number of tours get announced that I think a lot of people are interested in. First up, hold on one second. First up, we're going to talk about let's see here. Well, there's this, oh, come on, are you kidding me? Of course. Hold on one second. I'm very, 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 very sorry. I want to make sure I list all the bands. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave anybody out. So I want the full list in front of me. There we go. Saturday, March 29th, Harpo's in Detroit. Art of Shock opening for Crowbar, opening for Sacred Reich, opening for Sepultura. Sepultura is coming back to Michigan. You know, I gotta be honest. Like, I know a lot of people might be into this one, but I gotta be honest, for me, I only know the Max and Igor, Sepultura, and Soulfly. I don't know post Max and Igor Sepultura. I don't know it. I don't know what the new guy sounds like. I don't know it. I just don't know it. I haven't listened to it yet. But I'm interested to find out. So I think a lot of, and I mean, Sacred Reich and Crowbar, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's outstanding on its own. Let's see what else we got. Kiss announced that their End of the Road World Tour, the leg coming to North America next year, will be opened by none other than David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth and his solo band. So that's pretty exciting. You know, honestly, I don't know anything that David Lee Roth has done post Van Halen. He's another one. But I heard that he had an album come out where the guitarist was Steve Vai. That's pretty fucking cool. I probably want to go back and check that one out because I love Steve Vai. And David Lee Roth has always been great on. He's made a couple appearances on Joe Rogan and things like that. I wouldn't mind seeing him. Put it this way though, I saw Kiss a few years ago, maybe more than a few years ago now. I don't know. Maybe it was like 7 years ago or so. But still, I saw Kiss at Pine Knob DT Energy Music Theater in Clarkston, Michigan, for like $25-$30 for the lawn ticket. And quite frankly, everybody that goes to DT Pine Knob knows that the lawn is where the party's at. So those are the tickets you want, unless there's a pit up front, which is extraordinarily rare. And yeah, so if you know, that's the thing, is I wanted to see Kiss. They came through on the end of this, you know, with the ending tour or whatever, last year, I believe, at the Van Andel, and tickets were just outrageous. Like, the cheapest nosebleeds in the house were $100, I think. So if it's, as long as the lawn seats aren't ridiculous, as long as they're not like, you know, okay, let's be real. Like, if they're $50, they're actually $70. You know what I'm saying? After the bullshit, which, for the record, Ticketmaster is actually being investigated right now by the United States government. Which, if you go back and listen to episode fucking 1 of this podcast, Like one of the first things we ever talked about on this podcast was Ticketmaster and their bullshit and Live Nation and all that stuff. We've been talking about, that's been kind of an underlying theme throughout this whole entire podcast, all 111 episodes that we talk about from time to time, every time there's news to talk about. So that's happening. So hopefully the tickets aren't ridiculously expensive. I would love to see Kiss one last time, especially in Detroit. You know, that'd be sick. Another announcement has been Wednesday, April 22nd. Harpo's back at Harpo's in Detroit, Michigan. Sebastian Bach, 31st anniversary tour of the first. He's playing the first Skid Row album from top to bottom. I saw this show at the Machine Shop just a couple months ago, maybe last month. I don't know. Amazing. I mean, put it this way. That album, that first Skid Row album, to me is something extraordinarily special. I'm going to be brutally honest here. That first Skid Row album, to me, top to bottom, I've heard it 1,000 times at least. The first girl I was ever in love with, her and I's song was I Remember You. Preston and I, we are the youth gone wild. You know what I mean? Like, that album was so defining in a big bad way for me. To see it played by Sebastian from top to bottom at the Machine Shop was unbelievable, extraordinarily special. The only thing that sucked about it was I was there alone and I couldn't enjoy it with anybody else. I was just there, you know, by myself. But it was so fucking good that if I can get anybody else, if I can get friends to go to this show at Harpo's, I'll go again. I'll go see it again because it was so good. And to see it with friends there would be, especially Preston specifically, would be an unbelievable experience. We also had an announcement from another one at Harpo's. Goddamn, Harpo's is knocking it out. We got the Black Mariah opening for Pestilence, opening for Possessed. Come on, fucking Possessed. That'd be outstanding. And then, let's see. The big one. I think the only one left. Oh, no. Here's another one. Doc and Lita Ford, Lynch Mob, they're reuniting. And then, but the big one. Let's see here. I want to get this. I want to get all the bands on this one because this is huge. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a really, really big show. Here we go. God damn it. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Thy Art is Murder are excited to bring their Human Target headlining tour to North America in the spring of 2020, featuring none other than Extinction AD, Une Misre, Aversion Crown, Enterprise Earth, and Fit for a Motherfucking Autopsy. That's right, Fit for an Autopsy, opening in direct support for Thy Art is Murder at the St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. That's the Michigan date on April 11th. That I would not be surprised if damn near everyone I know is going to be at that show. It's going to be giant. It's going to be outstanding. Aaron and I have been waiting for the announcement of that tour. When we saw them back in November, when we saw Thy Art is Murder open for Cannibal Corpse at St. Andrews again back in November, he said they'll be back in April. And we were like, what? What was that? Like, what did you just say? So we've been waiting for that one and very excited to see that it's Fit for an Autopsy and direct support. Like, those two are a perfect match. Very excited. So I just wanted to mention those things. I couldn't believe that. Like, I started this episode talking about, there's only a few shows so far announced for next year. And then all of a sudden, the next day after I record saying that, a slew of amazing metal shows get announced. It's insane. It was like every hour today for like from like 10 a.m. to like 2 p.m. It was like every hour something was crazy was getting announced. I just felt like adding a little outro to that. Just talk about those. 2020 is already shaping up to be gigantic between the shows I've already mentioned on this episode, and on top of that, we got the Double Devil Driver album. Jesus Christ! Oh fuck! You fucking serious? Double Devil Driver album coming out. That's hard to say. Try it. Double Devil Driver album coming out next year, hopefully. Lamb of God coming out next year, hopefully. Anthrax next year. Shit. I know there's more I'm forgetting right now, but there's a lot already projected for next year. And with the current slew of tour announcements just for the first 3 months. And when you consider during those first 3 months in the United States, what's going on in Europe with like Parkway Drive and Hatebreed and Slipknot and all these giants over there, Iron Maiden, I think, and all kinds of stuff. We are... 2020 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years in metal we've seen in a long time. It's shaping up. Will it be? We shall see. But that is how it's shaping up. In the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019, have been building. If you haven't been paying attention, if you've been sleeping, that's on you. Because I tell you what, they have been fucking building. There's been shit going on. Big things. So... I look forward to all of it. I just wanted to get in here for an outro to mention those shows that got announced today, because I didn't want to like post this episode on the same day all those shows get announced, and I don't even talk about it because the major segment of this episode was talking about shows coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get in here, mention all those. This episode will be out tomorrow. What will it be? Wednesday, whatever. December. Let's see. What will it be? December 18th. It'll be out Wednesday, December 18th. And, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to jump in here and mention all those. I hope to go to most of them. I definitely will be going to the Thy Art show. And, hopefully many more. So, hope you all enjoyed the episode. Hope you all enjoyed the outro. I hope you all are just as excited as me, as I am about about 2020, about metal in general, about the state of it, about all the music coming out, about all the shows coming, about the potential for Rockstar Mayhem Fest to return. Holy fucking shit, what an exciting time to be a metalhead right now. I tell you what. We should be getting a new Cannibal album, I think, next year too. They should be working on it or something. Man, what a great time to be a fucking metalhead. Iron Maiden, AC/DC. So many potential great albums coming out next year. It's unbelievable. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to be a metalhead, and I hope you all are too. It's a great time, and I hope genuinely hope to hear from you. Be feel to reach out to us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes, and I genuinely hope to see some of you at any listeners at the shows that we're going to be going to. Anything that I mention, please, anybody that's going to them. If you see me and you come up and talk to me, you will get a free sticker, especially if you know me from the podcast. 100%. So I hope to see some of you at these shows that I've been talking about. And, that's going to be it. That's going to be it for this outro. So, 13 minutes. That's good. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you are just as excited as I am about the new year and everything to come. We got the album of the year list coming, Filthy 15, and then the Filthy 15 of the decade coming soon, and a couple reviews, or dark reflections, because they're not really reviews. I don't talk shit. I only talk good about the things that I love. So I'll talk a little shit, but not anything, you know what I mean? Like positive shit. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple of reviews coming. We got the album list coming, album of the year lists. And that'll be it for the rest of the year. I hope you all, if you've been listening to us for this year, this has been the craziest year ever for this podcast. Second year in existence. So thank you so much. 111 episodes in, and let's get 111 more in soon. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all to death. Raise your motherfucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. I love you all to death. Good night.